Welcome to this course on mastering Kali Linux for ethical hackers. Here what you can expect to learn. This course is crafted specifically for beginners who have recently installed Kali Linux but not yet familiar with executing Linux commands. Our goal is to guide you through the essential Linux fundamentals, starting from basic concepts and advancing to more complex topics. Additionally, the advanced sections of this course will explore a range of Linux tools essential for ethical hacking activities. So guys, we'll see you in the course. Hey guys, in this video, I will cover some basic commands of Linux. Let's explore some fundamental commands. Okay, the first command we have is pwd. Pwd command will show you your present working directory. So for me, my present working directory is home and Kali. It's displaying me home/Kali. That's my present working directory. So if I want to display the files and folder inside this directory, I need to use ls command. So guys, hope you know what is a directory. Directory is a folder. Okay. So here it's showing me the directories and the files. Okay. And if I want to move inside this desktop directory, I need to use cd command. Cd command is used for changing the directory. Like if I want to change my directory to desktop, I can use cd command, cd and the directory name. So if I will check my present working directory is home, Kali and /desktop. Okay. So think I'm inside this desktop directory. If I list files and folder inside this desktop directory, I need to use ls command. ls command can list files and folder inside this directory. Okay. So as we can see, there is no files and folders present inside this directory, so it's not showing anything, right? So let's see how we can create directory. For creating directory, you can use mkdir command, mkdir, and the directory name. Let's say directory name is d1. So that's gonna create a directory with name d1. Okay. If I list files and folder using ls command, now it's showing me d1, right? So d1 is a directory. And if I want to remove this directory, I need to use rmdir command, rmdir d1. So that will remove the directory. So how we can make the directory? For making the directory, we need to use mkdir command. And for removing the directory, we need to use rmdir command. Okay, so let's move to the next command. Next command is for making the file. So if you want to make any file like file1.txt, you can use touch command. Touch command is useful for making the file with 0 byte size. Okay, so here it has created this file using the touch command. Okay, if I want to write any content in it, I can use leafpad text editor, leafpad file1.txt, and I can write any text in that, like this. This is file.txt. All right. So now let's see how we can delete this file. Okay, first list it using ls command. So it's displaying me file1.txt. So for removing this file, we can use rm command, rm file1.txt. That will remove this file. Okay. So if I list here using ls, so it's not displaying many files and folders, right? So using rm command, we can remove the files. Okay, so let's think you have written something in file1.txt. Okay, like this is file1.txt and you have saved it using Ctrl S. Now just make one more file. Okay, and I'm making one more file, file2.txt. Now if I list here, it's displaying me file1.txt and file2.txt, right? If I want to copy the content of file1 to the file2.txt, I can use cp command. Cp command is useful when I want to copy the content of file1.txt to the file2.txt. So before copying the content, I will display you what is inside the file1.txt. So we check the file1.txt using cat command. So it's displaying us this is file1.txt, right? So let's check the content of file2.txt. Okay. Is it displaying us something? It's not displaying us anything, because in file2.txt, we didn't write any content, right? Whereas in file1.txt, we wrote this is file1.txt. So let's copy the content of file1.txt to the file2.txt using cp command. Cp file1.txt to the file2.txt. Here you have to mention the path. As we are in the same directory, so there is no need to mention the path. We can directly write the file name. Okay, so this is gonna copy the content of the file1.txt to the file2.txt. So if I check the content of file2.txt now, So it is having the content. This is file 1.txt. So using copy command, we can copy the content of one file to the another file. Okay. And using cat command, we can display the content of the file. Okay. So let's move to the next command. We have one more editor like leafpad. We have nano editor. Nano is a text editor. So I will make one file f1.txt. Write something in that. This is f1.txt. Okay. And if I want to save it, I need to click on Control S and then Y, and then now it's Control X, then Y, then hit enter. That's gonna save your file. Okay. So using nano command, nano is a text editor, and we can write something into the file1.txt, and even it is useful for making the file. Okay. So if I want to display the content of f1.txt, what command I can use? The cat command, right? Okay, so let's move to the next command. Next command is move command, mv command. Okay, if I list here my files and folders inside this desktop directory, I can use ls command. Okay, if I want to move the content of f1.txt to the file2.txt, so I can use mv command. Mv command works like cut and paste. Okay, when you cut the file and you paste it in some other destination or paste it in another path, it works the same. Okay, we'll write mv and f1.txt, then file2.txt. Here you just have to mention the path. Okay, as we are in the same directory, so no need to mention the path. We can directly mention the name. Okay, so that's gonna move the content of f1.txt to the file2.txt. So let's hit enter and let's again check ls. So here we can see that f1.txt is not there, right? And as it moved to the file2.txt, let's check the content of file2.txt using cat command. Here can you see, guys, the content which was present inside f1.txt, now it is inside the file2.txt. So using mv command, we can move the content of one file to the other file. Okay. Now the next command is man command. If you want to check the manual page of any command, like if I want to check the manual page of ls command, I can type man and ls. That's gonna show me the manual page of ls command. So ls command is list directory content, and if you want to get from here, you can use q option. Okay, so if I press q, that will get from that page. Okay, so the next command we have, let's check the manual page of man. Okay, if I want to check the manual page of man command, I can use man and man. That will display me the manual page of this man command. All right, so let's open the terminal and we'll explore more commands. So the next command, if you want to check the host name of this machine, okay, just type host name. That will display you the host name. Like in my case, my host name is Kali. All right. And next command, if you want to check the name, you can type uname. That will display the name. Uname is Kali. Uname is Linux, right? So now the next command is we have is if we want to download something from the internet. Okay, like if I want to download, let's go to ngrok. If I want to download ngrok, I'll go to ngrok and download, right? And here I'll click on Linux and we'll choose the version like x86-64, and here just click on that and then right click and then copy link. Okay, if I want to download it from terminal, I can use wget command. Wget command is useful when you want to download the content from the internet. Okay, so that's going to download the ngrok from the internet. All right, as you can see, it has downloaded the ngrok from the internet. So I'm removing it, okay, using rm-rf command. So means I'm removing it forcefully. Okay, so if I want to download using another command, I can use curl command to download the ngrok. Okay, so ngrok, you can download using wget command and the curl command. Okay, so let's copy the link. Copy link. Not only ngrok, anything from the internet, you just have to copy the link and use wget command or the curl command. So it's showing something binary output can mess up your terminal. Use output to tell. So let's use the option not here. Output new dot zip. Okay, so it's started downloading it. As we can see, it has downloaded this anti-rock and it created a zip file new.zip. Right. That's it for this video. We'll see more commands in the next video. Now we'll see the chmod command in Linux. The chmod command in Linux is used to change the permission of file or directory. It allows you to control who can read, write, or execute a file. So the basic syntax of chmod is first you have to write chmod, and here you have to specify the options. Okay, options are additional settings, and then the permissions, what permission you want to give, like read, write, or execute, and then the file name. Okay, it can be file or the directory you want to change the permission. Okay, so let's see how we can use it. First, let's create a directory using mkdir chmod1. Okay, and then we'll understand how we can use chmod command. And let's move to this directory chmod1. Okay, now we are inside chmod1, right? So let's make a file here using leafpad. Okay, leafpad file1.txt. We'll write something in that. This is a private file. Okay, I will save it. Then let's check the permission for this file, ls minus, using ls minus la command. Okay, so to this file, ls minus la, and then mention the file name. File name is file1.txt. Okay, so here we can see this dash means it is a file. If it's showing us the d, then d means the directory. So let me create a directory, then we'll show you what I mean by that. So if I type here ls minus la and d1, so it is showing me d. So d means the directory. So this directory is having this permission: read, write, and execute. R means read, w means write, and x means execute. Okay, this r_x is for honor, and the next read, write, execute, this is dash 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 means no permission. Okay, so that is for the group, and the next is for this r dash and x is for group, and r dash x is for others. Okay, so we'll see that how we can change the permission for group, honor, or for others, how we can change it using chmod command. Okay, hope you got what is d and what is dash. Here d means the directory, whereas this dash means it is a file. Okay, so the honor is having the permission to read the file, write the file, and the honor doesn't have the permission to execute the file. Okay, but the others, they are having the permission just to read the file. They don't have the permission to write the content in that. Now we'll see how we can change the permission of this file1.txt. So type chmod. Let's again type ls minus la file1.txt. Here we can see read, write permission is for the owner, right? So let's try to execute this file using /file1.txt. So it's showing us no such file or directory, right? Because it is file1.txt. So it is showing us permission denied. Why it is showing us permission denied? As I told you, because the owner doesn't have the permission to execute this file. Okay, so if I give the permission for the file execution using chmod command, chmod, then mention u. Okay, u means we are giving the permission to the owner. Okay, u, and the permission that you want to give, like I'm giving the permission to execute the file. So for that I'm giving +x, and the file name is file1.txt. So let's check the permission using ls minus la command. So now it's showing us r_x for, that is for honor, right? Now if we try to execute this file, it is showing us this file.txt1, this not found. So let's check what we wrote in that file, 1.txt. This is a private file. Okay, so let's change it to something else. Let's write a bash script in that, echo, and we'll print the statement using echo command. Print the statement using echo. Okay, when we will execute this file, it's gonna print the statement. We'll save it, and now I will execute file1.txt. Now it is printing this is file1.txt, right? So if I check the permission of file1.txt, it is having the permission for the execution. So like this, you can change the file permission using chmod command. Now if we want to check the permission of file2.txt, we can use the command ls minus la and file2.txt. That will show us the permission for file2.txt. So we can see read, write, and this dash means there is no permission for execution of this file, right? So if I want to give the execute permission using chmod, just type chmod, and for the owner, I need to give u plus x, and the file name. File name is file2.txt. So that will change the permission to execute, that we can execute this file. If I check it using ls minus -la, that's showing me RWX for the owner, right? So same, if we want to give it for group, we need to mention ls minus, we need to mention chmod g for group plus, if I'm giving write and execute permission to the group, I need to type w2nx, and next is the file name. File name is file2.txt. So that's going to give the read, write, and execute permission to the file2.txt. And if I check it using ls minus -la, that's showing me for owner and for the group, they are having all the permission like read, write, and execute. But for others, they don't have write and execute permission. So let's give them this write and execute permission. So if you want to give write and execute permission to the others, just type o plus wx. That's going to give read and write permission, read and execute, not read and write. It's write and execute permission to the file2.txt. Okay. So if we want to give write and execute permission to the file2.txt, we can use this command. Okay. O plus wx, that will give permission to file2.txt. Okay. For writing and executing. If we check it now using ls minus -la, file2.txt, we can see the owner, the group, the others, they all are having the read, write, and execute permission. And now if I want to remove the permission, okay, so let's write something in this file. Yes, I'm writing like file1.txt. This is file1.txt. Okay. And if I check the permission of the file1.txt, here we can see the file1.txt is having the permission to for reading and for writing. So if I check it using cat command, if I read the file using cat command, so it's showing me, it's displaying me this is file1.txt. But if I remove this read permission from this file1.txt, how can I do that? I need to mention, write the command chmod, and I'm removing this permission from the owner. So if you are removing the permission from the owner, just type u minus and read. Okay. So that will remove the read permission from file1.txt. If I try to read this file1.txt, it's showing me permission denied. Hope you got it, how you can add the permission and how you can remove the permission from the file. So if you guys want to give full permission to the owner and the group and to the others, you can use this command chmod ugo plus rwx and just mention the file name. That's going to give all the permission to this file1.txt. Okay. Now we'll see what is chmod calculator. Okay. So here using chmod calculator, you can calculate the permission, Linux permissions. Like if I want to give the read permission to the owner, I can mention this number 400 and I need to mention the file name. Okay, let's check how we can use this. So like if I want to give just the read permission to file1.txt, first we can see we have all permission, right? We have full permission to the owner, to the group, and to the other users, right? Now let's see how we can by number, how we can change the permission. So if I want to give just read permission using the numbers, okay, I need to type chmod and the number is 400. 400 means we are just giving the read permission to the owner. Okay. So if I write chmod 400 file1.txt, that's going to give just read permission to file1.txt. So if I check the permission for file1.txt, so it's just playing me that just read permission for this file1.txt, right? So using the chmod calculator, you can change the permission. Like if you want to give, if you are writing this number 440, it means you are giving read permission for the owner and to the group, but not to the public. Okay. But if you are writing 444, it means you are giving the read permission to the owner, to the group, and to the public. Okay. But if I want to give all the permissions, then I can use this number 777. That means I'm giving full permission to all the entities. Okay, chmod and 777 and then file1.txt. Okay, that's gonna give the full permission to the owner, to the groups, and to the public. So we can see RWX for the owner, RWX for the group, and read, write, execute for the public. Okay. So the chmod calculator, for reading the file, the value is 4, and for writing it, the value is 2. Okay, and for executing it, the value is 1. Okay, it's total 7. If you're mentioning 777 and the file name, means you're giving all the permissions. Okay, so hope you guys got what is chmod and how you can use chmod for giving the permission or for changing the permission for the file. Guys, now let's explore more commands of Linux. If you want to make a zip file of this f1.txt, just type zip and f1.zip and just mention the file name that you want to zip. Okay, so that's gonna zip the file f1.txt and that will create f1.zip file. If I check using ls command, you can see it has created f1.zip file. So now if I want to unzip it, first let's remove this f1.txt using rm command. Okay, so now if I want to unzip this file, I can use unzip and then f1.zip. So that will extract all the files from f1.zip file. Okay, so you can see it has extracted this f1.txt from f1.zip. So using zip command, we can make a zip file, and using unzip command, we can extract all the files from the zip file. Now, if I want to display the information about processes, how can I display that? So first, if you want to clear the screen, you can write clear command. Clear command will clear this entire screen. Okay, or you can click on Ctrl+L. That will also clear the entire screen. Now, if I want to display the information about processes, I can type, just write the command ps. That will display information about processes. Okay, and if I want to kill any process, I need to type kill and just mention the process id, PID. Okay, so here the PID is 1523. That will kill this process. So the next command we have is df. Df command will display information about disk space uses. So you can see it's showing me the file system and the blocks used in that, 1K blocks, used available space. Okay, so that's gonna show you the information about disk space uses. Okay, so let's create one file. We'll create one file using leafpad, like file1.txt, and we'll write something into it. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, 11 12. I'm writing here 13 14 15. From 1 to 15 I've written in this file1.txt. Now if I want to display the first 10 numbers in the file1.txt, I can use the command head and just write the file name. File name is file1.txt. So that's going to display me the first 10 lines of this file1.txt. Okay, the head command will display the first 10 lines of this file1.txt. So if I want to display the last 10 lines, then I can use tail command. Tail command will display me the last 10 lines of this file1.txt. Okay, but if I want to display only first 5 lines, then I can write head -5 or -5 file1.txt. That will display me first 5 lines of this file1.txt. Here you just have to mention the number, how many lines you want to display. Like if I want to display first 15 lines, I can write -15. That will display me -15, total 15 lines. Okay, and if I want to display last 5 lines, I can write tail -5 and the file name. That will display me last 5 lines of file1.txt. Now next command we have is echo. If you want to make a text file using echo command, you can make it using echo and this greater than sign and just write the file name. So that's the syntax of creating the file using echo command. So if I type ls, so we can see it has created f2.txt. So guys, if you want to print something on the terminal, you can use echo command. That can even print something on the terminal. Okay, so if you want to write some text inside this file, you just have to mention echo and then this double braces and greater than sign and the name of the file. So here we can see name of the file is f2.txt. Okay, so if we check the content of f2.txt, we can see the content inside f2.txt cell. So using echo command, you can write into something in the file and you can create a file, right? So next command we have is date. If you want to check your current date, you can use date command. That will display you the current date. Now next command is, if you want to check the calendar, you can use cl command. Cl command will display you the calendar. Okay, And if you want to see all the history of all the commands, you can use history command. History command will display you the history of the commands. Okay. And now if you want to check for a file, if you want to find any file, you can use find command. So let's use this in this directory, home and Kali. We'll try to find F1. Okay. So we can see there are lots of file F1. So using find command, you can find any directory or you can find a file. Now let's see how we can search for a specific pattern in file. So we can use grab command for searching for a specific pattern inside the file. So if I list here the files, here we can see f2.txt is present inside this grab directory. And if I want to check the content inside this f2.txt, I can use cat command that will display me the content which is present inside this f2.txt. So here I can see in the f2.txt it is having hello, hi, AA and something else, right? So if I want to search for hi inside this f2.txt, then I can use f2.txt and then this pipe sign and just write grab and hi. So that's gonna filter this hi inside this f2.txt. So if you're looking for any pattern inside any file, you can use the grab command. Okay. Now let's see more commands of Linux. If you want to add groups, okay, or if you want to add users inside Linux, then you can type user add and the username you need to write. So let's add a user hacker inside this Linux. So here you can see that it's showing us permission denied because we are not a root user. Okay. So let's write sudo that will give you permission to add this hacker user. So we can see that it has added this hacker user. So if you want to look that the user hacker is added or not, you can see it in etc past wt. That will display you that hacker is added inside the Linux. Okay. Now, if you want to make a group, you can make it using group add and just write the group name. So I'm writing here hackers group. Okay, that's going to create a group, hackers group. So here we can see again it's showing us permission denied. So I again need to write sudo and then group add hackers group. So that will make a group, hackers group. So if I check it again, but here it's going to show it in etc/groups, not groups, it's group. So you can see it has added hackers group, okay, with this GID. Okay, so now let's see how we can switch the user. If we want to switch the user from Scali to hacker, we can write SU and the name. Okay, so that will switch from the Scali to hacker. So now it's displaying us the authentication failure. As we can see, we didn't set any password for this hacker. So let's add a password using passwd command, passwd, and we'll add the password for hacker. So it's saying us that you may not view or modify password for hacker. So let's use sudo command again, passwd hacker, and now we can set the password for hacker. Now if I want to switch the user from Kali to hacker, I can write this command as u and mention the name of the user and just mention the password. So we can see we are inside this hacker user, right? So now if I want to exit from here, I can type exit command that will exit from this hacker user. Okay, so if I want to display the files inside this grab directory, what command I can use? ls command. So ls command will display me the files inside this grab directory. If I want to check the permissions and who is the owner and where the file is present, I can use ls-la command and just mention the file name. So that's showing me the Joker is the owner for this f2.txt, and Joker is having the permission to read and write the file, whereas Kali is a group which is having the permission, like Kali, this group is having the permission just to read the file, and others they also have the same permission. So if we want to change this user to hacker, we can use chown command and just write the name of the user and then mention the file. So that will change the owner of this file using this chown command. Okay, so it has changed the ownership of f2.txt. No, it is showing us operation not permitted. So again, we need to use sudo command, sudo chown hacker and f2.txt. That's gonna change the ownership of f2.txt. So we check it again. So that's displaying us. Now the owner is the hacker, and this file is present inside this Kali group, right? So now if we want to install any files, if we want to install any packages inside this Kali Linux, for that we can use apt command. Apt command can install packages. Like if I want to install neofetch, so now it's showing me that permission denied. So let's being a root user. If you want to become a root user, this dollar, this dollar means you are just a normal user. But if you want to become a root user, just use sudo su. So you will become the root user. Okay. Now, if we want to install something like neofetch, we can install it using apt install neofetch. So it's displaying us that it is already installed. Okay. So if we type this neofetch, that is displaying the system information. Okay, let's type it again. So that is displaying the OS, host name, kernel, the uptime, all these things are displaying us using neofetch command. So if I want to display the system uptime, there is a command that we can use. Command is uptime. So that will display me the system from how long the system has been running. Okay, and who is running the system. If I want to check, then for that I can use who command. Okay, so here it's displaying Kali, and the time it's displaying me. So the next command we have is finger command. If finger is not installed in your operating system, then just install it using apt install finger. That will install this finger tool. Okay, so as it is already installed in my system, I will type finger and the username. Okay, so that's the syntax for this finger tool. So that will display me the information of this Joker user. So it's showing me Joker, login Joker, directory is this one, and now we're logged in. Okay, so if I want to display the information of hacker user, I can type finger and the username is hacker. So it's showing now we're logged in, no mail, no plan. Okay, so using this finger, you can inspect the user. Next command we have is what is. If you want to check a short description of any command, you can use what is command. Like if I want to see the short description of ls command, I can use ls what is command, what is, and the command. Okay, that will display me the short description of this ls command. So ls command is useful for listing directory contents. Next command we have is figlet command. If you want to display the text banner, you can use figlet and just write the name that you want to see as a banner. So it is displaying me hello as a banner. So using figlet command, you can display the text as a banner. Next command we have is apt update. If you want to update your system, you can use apt update command. Okay, so apt update command is useful for updating the system. It will refresh the packages in your system. Now it's taking time, so let's move to the next command. Next command we have is apt upgrade. So type apt upgrade. Apt upgrade command will upgrade the packages to the latest version. Okay, so it is gonna take some time. So let's open another terminal. I will check another command. So guys, here is one more command, bc command. That's for calculating the numbers. So that's a calculator, basic calculator. Like if I want to calculate 1 and 2, 1 plus 2, it's showing displaying me 3. Okay, so if you want to do any basic calculation, you can use bc command. And now if you want to install any tool, or if you want to clone any repository from GitHub, you can use git clone command. So let's move to GitHub and we'll install a tool that is Mr. Fish tool. So if I want to install this Mr. Fish tool, I can use git clone command. Okay, so let's see how we can install it. It's taking time to load. So just click on this code and then this copy icon, and then open your terminal and then you need to type git clone and then paste the URL. That will install the Mr. Face tool. Now if you want to shut down this operating system, you can use shutdown command. Shutdown command will shut down this operating system. Okay, shut down and then H, and now that will shut down it now. Guys, in this video we'll explore networking concepts and delve into some advanced Linux commands. So the first command we have is, if you want to check your IP address, you can use fconfig command. That's going to show you your IP address. Okay, that in my case, my IP address is 192.168.174.150. Okay, so using one more command, we can check the IP address. We have addr. That's going to show you your IP address. Okay, the next command we have is ping. Ping command is useful when you want to check the host is active or not. For example, I want to check google.com is active or not. I can check it using ping command. Okay, so it's going to give me the IP address of the google.com. So using ping, we can get the IP address of the google.com, and even it can show the host is active or not. So to display the root packets to reach a destination, we can use trace root and just type here the domain name. That's going to show you how you are reaching the google.com. So here in the router 1, we are getting the response, whereas in the second, third, fourth, we are not getting kind of response. So in the trace route output, this asterisk typically represents packets that have timed out or were lost during the trace route process. Each asterisk indicates a failed attempt to receive a response from a router along the route to the destination. So when you run a trace route, the tool sends a series of packets to the destination, and each router along the way is expected to send back an ICMP packet. Okay, ICMP echo reply. However, due to various reasons such as network congestion, firewall rules, or router configuration, not all routers may respond to the trace route request. Okay, so the next command we have is ARP scan and -L. So that's going to scan for devices on the local area network using ARP. It's not scan, it's scan. So the devices which is present inside your local area network, that's going to show you all the IP addresses of your local area network. Okay, like inside this network, two devices are connected. Like one is this one and the second one is Metasploitable. So if I want to check that this command gave me the IP address of Metasploitable machine or not, I can check it using fconfig. So you can see that I got the IP address of this Metasploitable machine, which is connected to the same network, right? 192.168.174.146. So using ARP scan -L, we can get the IP addresses of the devices which is connected to the same network. Now the next command we have is net discover. Okay, so what the net discover command can do? So using net discover command, it discovers the host on the local area network by actively sending ARP request. So same, we will get the IP address of the Metasploitable machine using this net discover command. Okay, so if you want to get the IP addresses of the machines that are connected to your network, you can get it using either ARP scan or using net discover. Okay, so here we can see the result of this command. Here we got the IP address of the Metasploitable machine, which is 192.168.174.146. So we can see these two machines are connected to the same network that we call a local area network. So if you want to get the IP addresses of the local area network, you can use net discover command or you can use ARP scan. Okay, so here we can see it is currently scanning, but we'll stop the process now. There is one more tool that can do the same. You can perform a network scan on the specific IP range using nmap. So nmap is a tool that can perform this kind of scan. Okay, so just write the IP 192.168. So if you want to check our IP address, it's 192.168.174. So let's take these 3 byte as network bits and the 1 byte as the host. Okay, so how we can do that? We can use the command nmap 192.168.174. Okay, and it's going to start from 0 because we want to scan 256 host. Okay, so we'll use /24. /24 means it is taking as these 3 byte as network bits and other as host bits. Okay, so as we can see, it has scanned the network with 256 hosts. So it has started with 192.168.174.1. Okay, and here we got the IP address of this Metasploitable machine, and even we got what are the ports which are open, right? So using nmap, ARP scan, and net discover, you can get the IP address of the machine which is connected to your network. Hope you guys got it. So we'll cover more commands in the next video. Let's explore more commands of Linux. So here we have Hydra tool. Hydra is a tool for cracking the password. So let's crack the password of this machine, Metasploitable machine. Now we can see the IP address is 192.168.174.146. Alright, so you need to mention the username. Username is msfadmin, and just mention the password list and then this FTP colon / the IP address. Okay, then just hit enter. That's gonna crack the password for this Metasploitable machine. Now we can see if we log in using msfadmin, then we can get into the Metasploitable machine. Okay, so using Hydra tool, you can crack the password. Next command we have is DNSenum. DNSenum is command for gathering the information regarding the domain name. Okay, so let's gather information about this domain name, test.php 1web. Okay, just type this command DNSenum and just copy this domain name. Okay, and just hit enter. So that's gonna show the information regarding the domain name. So here it's showing that NS record query failed. So let's try on some other domain name. Okay, let's try it on www.hackathon.com. So you can see some information regarding host addresses. Alright, the IP addresses we are getting, and NS record query failed. So let's explore more commands. Next command we have is DNSRecon. It's also for gathering the information regarding the domain name. So let's use test.php again. So it's showing us we need to mention -d and then type the domain name and just hit enter. It's showing something could not resolve domain. Okay, so let's take just test.php.oneweb.com. Now we are getting some information regarding it. It's saying DNSSEC is not configured for test.php.oneweb.com, and test.php.oneweb.com, it's showing the IP address for this and more information regarding this DNS. Okay, so if it is not configured, it means the person can do DNS poisoning attack on this website. Okay, guys, if you are looking for an exploit, you have the version of the operating system and you are trying to search for an exploit. So the command is searchploit. Like if I'm looking for Apache 2.2, 2.4 exploit, I can search searchploit Apache 2.4. So that's going to show me all the exploit present for this Apache 2.4. Okay, so using this command, you can search for exploit. The next command we have is Nikto. Nikto is a web server scanner that will show you all the vulnerabilities by scanning this domain. Okay, this website. So now it's showing us multiple IP found. Okay, guys, next command we have is CWL. CWL can generate custom word list based on the website content. So I'm generating the word list based on this test.php.oneweb. Okay, so that's going to generate the word list based on this website. Okay, it's taking time. So let's move to the next terminal. So we have one more tool, that's C Toolkit. It's a social engineering toolkit that you can use to perform social engineering. If you want to open it, type the command C Toolkit, sudo C Toolkit, and type the password. That's gonna open this social engineering toolkit. As we can see, it has generated the word list word.txt. If we want to check it, we can check it using cat command, cat word.txt. That's gonna display you all the words, and all the words are related to that website. Okay, so that's all for this video. We'll see you in the next video.